Morning viewers, it's Nigel from Ray Valley Tractors. Just thought we'd have a quick 10 minutes to look at our T7.315 HD demonstrator before it goes out later this morning. This is nearly the top of the tree when it comes to T7 New Holland tractors. They have now released a T7.340, top of the range, but the 315 HD is one of the most popular machines. 300 horsepower rated, 315 max power, 6.7 litre FPT Fiat powertrain engine. Very good engine. What is it, 11.5 ton, I suppose, working weight. You've got a 5.8 ton front linkage there on the front, and you've got over 11 ton of lift on the back end. So a real powerhouse, primary cultivations kind of tractor, but equally you can set it up and configure it so that it's quite at home on a lot of different duties, whether that's transport duties or trail machines, mountain machines. In terms of how you can set it up, how you can set up the engine and transmission, it's a very versatile tractor. It's got the new Horizon Ultra cab on these HDs. These and the T8s were one of the first New Holland tractors to get the new cab. So what are they, 7.5% bigger cabs, 11% more glass, a little bit more headroom. The new Horizon Ultra Sidewinder Ultra in the cab on the armrest. New suspension options, hydraulic suspension options, sprung suspension options. Spool valves on this one, what have we got? 5 on the back there. Configurable in the cab in terms of which lever in the cab you want to operate which spool valve. Obviously the normal air and oil brakes, trailer brakes, ABS sockets, Isobus sockets, plugs. Good ground clearance on these tractors. Best part of 1/2 metre ground clearance. LED lights. We've got fender functions where we can have hitch raise lower. Spool valves in the cab, we can configure that to work whichever spool valve we want, or the hydraulic top link if you've got one fitted. Engine speed controls, the orange one there for set speed 1, set speed 2. Kill switch, the red one. And the PTO engage, disengage. Big tyres, this one's on the Michelin Axia bibs. 710 70/42s. Big hubs on this tractor. You can put a big payload on it. Front brakes, 50k Vario. We've got our front linkage, hitch control, spool control. We've got a camera there. I'll show you inside the cab. So front camera, there's a rear camera on this tractor as well. Suspension is all different on the HD, so you've got big suspension rams there. And again there, so suspension rams on both sides. But yeah, quite a thing really. So we'll have a look inside. So you've got to be quick because there's a lad coming to pick it up soon. This has got I've just locked it with the key fob, which is in my pocket. So there's your key fob, just like with a car. So I can click it open and closed, or I can leave it locked. But equally, if I've got the key fob in my pocket, when I walk up to it, you'll hear a click. There you go, and that opens the door. We've got a wider, 33% wider front door access. So the old ones are a little bit narrow getting in, but now you've got loads of space with these cabs. You can see the new armrest there. We've got the new center display. We'll show you that in a minute. Stop start button on there is an option. Radios, this kind of thing. We're in our Bailey Trailers field today. So yeah, remember, if you want a trailer, give us a call. Oh. Shut the door. So yeah, if you want to get started, just literally, there we go, we're up and running. IntelliView 12, that's the new 12-inch display, high definition display on the armrest there. We've got a pedal at the bottom there, change angle of the steering wheel. We can obviously adjust the height in and out, obviously, and that kind of thing as well. Just turn the radio off. So this is the new centre view display. You can have it, it's called the info view, and if you just have it as a standard info view, you can have it selected so it's at the back of the steering wheel if you don't want it within the steering wheel. But actually when you're using it, you don't tend to have any issues at all with it, and actually it's just like I've got my phone in front of my face now. It's just like we're all used to now, is having the information right in front of your face. So you've got things like fuel level, AdBlue, air brake pressure, water temperature, engine hours, time. You've got your transmission status here with our three set speed points, F3, F2, F1. We're in park. Remember on the set speeds on the New Holland, we can just go up and down, just quickly go into different target speeds, and then if we move to the roller, we can then just roll up and down within any target speed to give us a different speed. So that's all as we're kind of familiar with. We've got our hitch status, front and rear. We've got PTO status, 4-drive, diff lock, all that kind of stuff. It'll also show, if you want to, you can have your front camera. When you engage your front camera, just click a switch and it'll come up on the centre view there as well if you want, or you can keep it all on your main screen. So yeah, your main armrest or your sidewinder. We've got our command grip with our normal functions. We've talked about the set speeds, cruise control, auto guide, engage, forward, reverse, neutral. You've got configurable buttons, hitch up and down, spool valves. You can set whichever spool valves you want that to operate. Headland management, emergency stop, all this kind of thing. You've then got your, what we sort of call it, the mouse control for your hitch. So your hitch raise lower on here. You can select draft or position, set a depth point on your scroll wheel when you scroll your depth, and set a set point for when you lower back down again. And then there's a little button on top there, you can just see, if you press that, you can move it to the front. So then the same controls then operate the front linkage. So it's dead easy with that. Your hand just falls to it. Joystick here for, again, you can operate kind of 6 spools, X and Y axis, rocker switches on the front. You've got your range selector or your set speed selector on there again. You've got your forward reverse on here again. Again, configurable, I can't say configurable, buttons that you can basically decide what you want them to do. So we might as well talk about those while we're at it. So you've got, I think there's 10, might be more, but there's certainly at least 10 on this tractor. So if we try and find them like an Easter egg hunt, there's 1 and 2. Down the back side of the armrest there's 3, 4, 5 and 6, so you configure those for those jobs where you're leaning round to the back of the tractor looking at the back, so just where your hand then naturally rests. So where are we up to? 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 7 on the joystick or on the command grip. There's 8 down near your engine set speeds, and then you've got the 2 little squares there which are kind of 9 and 10. So just in normal working mode, if you want to assign one of those configurable switches or configurable, I cannot say that word, buttons, just press and hold it. So let's say number 7, and that will now come up on the screen, hopefully, yeah, with all my configurable buttons. And I should stop trying to say it, shouldn't I? So basically when you get down to number 7, for example, so at the moment it's unassigned, so if we just go into settings, and now then we can decide what we want that button to do. So the display, do we want to show, when you kick that button, do we want it to show a camera, for example? Do we want it to do something with remotes? Engine, front suspension, headland management, lights, media? Do you want it to answer the phone, or whatever you want really? So I don't know, if we've got an engine. So engine, let's have it, there we go. So if we have it so it sets the engine, or it puts the engine brake on. So that's fine, we'll just confirm that. Go back to our main run screen. So now then, whenever I press button number 7, I'm going down the road, I've got a big trailer on the back, it's pushing me down a hill. Not enough that I want to be riding on the brakes, but I just want to slow the thing down a little bit, cruise down a bit, so I want to use my engine brake. I can just press that button now and it'll engage my engine brake, a bit like a wagon. You'll hear it coming in and it'll sort of start to slow you down. Let off, it lets off. So, you know, how good is it just to be able to set that button, or to answer your phone, or to activate a spool valve, or to engage something or other. These configurable buttons, I can say it, are just really flexible. You've obviously got your kind of your hardwired buttons, so things like your diff, 4-wheel drives, HMSs, all this kind of stuff is all there. engine settings. So certain keys, if you like, activate things. So your four-wheel drive will activate your four-wheel drive, for example, your auto four-wheel drive. Other keys will get you into menu. So your engine menu there, if I just press engine, it's not going to do anything with the engine, but what it has done is brought up a kind of engine system. So again, it's talking about the engine brake. So you can have it in auto, which it's in at the moment. So actually the auto brake is acting automatically. So when you start to try and slow down on your speed control, it will also bring in some engine brake with the exhaust brake rather. If we go to manual, then in manual we just use our button number 7 that we've just assigned to put the exhaust brake on. But we can set here, we can set the here we go, the engine speed set points. Just drag them to where you want, or you can use the arrows either which way. So all sorts of stuff, just because I've pressed my engine button. Obviously same again, if I press my hitch button, it brings up all my hitch controls. Same sort of thing as to what we're used to. So here in the info screen, again, we've got our run pages here for the main screen, the ISOBUS screen, spools. We can see everything there. We can assign spools. We can look at flows, timers, all this sort of thing. Cameras, GPS, maps. So that's the front camera. If we go to, maybe that is the front camera. I can't remember which one is which on these. That's one of your rear cameras there, for example. GPS map, if we'd set up guidance lines, all that sort of stuff would all be in here. So yeah, all good. You've got hitch controls here, so you can set basically if you're operating front or rear. Once you've decided what you're going to do, you can then set up, let's say, your height limiter. Once you press it, I press it, it then comes up on the screen. If I then just use the encoder wheel then, and that will then come up on the screen, and you can set where you want it. So that's all dead easy. What else can we show you? Things like spool valves. Obviously these are all color coded, these are all lit up, so obviously the colors match up to the spools at the back. If for whatever reason you want to make the orange spool that is plugged in at the back, but you want to make it a bit handy and just have it on number 1 and move between these two, you can set whichever spool you want to do whatever function at the back. So for that you would need to go into your setup control on your IntelliView 12. So how do we do that? So on the IntelliView 12, we know we've got our kind of main information screen here. We've got our run pages down here we've looked at. You've got your main page, which is just how we've personalized it to have it set up. If you want to look at, as I say, the main dashboard, you can look at that, a dashboard, all your different levels and temperatures and set points and positions and that kind of stuff. If you want to actually set something up, we go into our menu, and this is really nice because it sort of gives you, it's like a flow chart if you like. You've got your tractor settings, your implement settings for implement width and this kind of thing for guidance, where you're so the receiver knows how far back the working point of the machine is and that kind of thing. Work condition, weather, application rates, products, that kind of thing. The combination of the vehicle and the implement together. The GPS status, how many satellites we're tracking and that kind of thing is all shown in here. So if we want to set up, for example, the spools on the tractor, we'd go into our tractor bit, because obviously the spools are part of the tractor, and then we've got menus down the side here now pop up, so we can set up our aircon, our light configurations, for example. We can set up our armrest controls, hitch, there's remotes there, hydraulic top link, engine status. So if we go to remotes, so if we want to set up our rear remotes, this will come up here. In fact, that's showing us the flows and timers, but actually, so it's actually the configurable controls. Actually, I should have gone into. Here we go. So here we're setting up our remote levers. That's it. So you got your levers, or you can go to your joystick, for example, to set up the joystick, or we can go to the main command grip, multifunction handle, etc. The rear fender switches. So those switches on the back of the machine, which spool you wanted those to operate, for example. So if it's on your hydraulic top link, or if you've got something else plugged into number 3 or number 4 or number 5, whatever, you can just tell it which spool you want those switches to operate. So so again, if we go back to our spool levers, for example, so at the moment we've got red, blue, yellow, green, orange. So if we wanted, let's say, number 1 to actually operate number 5, we could just do that, and now then number 5 isn't orange anymore, it's changed to orange number 5. That now first lever will operate the orange spool valve out the back. All good. So you can you get the impression we can just customize things however you want them. Okay, and then back to your main working page. So that's that. You've got normal aircon, heater, volume controls, phone controls. You can go into other memories here and menus when we click the button, and we can sort of work around using the encoder switch and then enter by pushing down on it. So if you're bouncing over rough ground and you don't want to be touching the screen, you can just hold on to the side of the Sidewinder and use your thumb wheel. So just loads of different stuff there, really. Up in the top, loads of storage space on this tractor. You've got ram mounts and a sliding rail here. Beverage holders, look, down here. You've got loads of space behind the seat for putting your lunch bag. These are controls here for moving where the Sidewinder armrest is. You can, for example, move this forward and cover the controls if you want to. Once you've set your spools, you don't want to touch them again. Or you can obviously slide it back. Again, you've got pocket space in here, USB ports, charger ports. Nice little things. You've got sort of little rack runs here for your cables to go out the back, so you can shut your lid flat, and you're not trapping any cables for your phone cables. Same again here on the left hand side. You've got, there you go, you've got another storage space here, more USB ports, jack ports here, and again, when you shut the lid, nice little touch, you've got a little gap just here for your cables to come through. You've got a flat space here for either having your lunch or taking any notes or whatever you want to do. So that folds up to your main passenger seat. Again, under your passenger seat, you've got a refrigerated deep sort of pocket down there for drinks bottles or whatever. That's a big set of storage. So yeah, nice cab, nice and quiet, nice thing to drive, info view display. Whenever we first need to go, we need to use the main lever, but after that we're just literally on the foot pedal down here, and it's point and press. Set your speeds as we talked about, and all good. And then once you're going, after that we can change direction, obviously on our command grip, or we can use the joystick, change direction, do our set speeds. You get the impression. Anyway, if you want any more information, come and talk to us, or just give us a call, any of our sales team, or you can call the sales hub. Georgia or Anna would be glad to talk to you, or tell you who your local salesman is, or send you a bit of information about the tractors. Some of the demo guys are out on some training at the minute in Toulouse in France on the new T7 long wheelbase tractors, which is the next range down from this, which has now also got the same Horizon Ultra cab and all that kind of thing. So, and that takes you up to the T7.315, but saying a slightly lighter weight machine than this, so that's exciting. That'll be for demo. We've got those machines coming too in the next month. So but yeah, the 315 HD is out and about now, coming to a town near you. So yeah, give us a call, be glad to hear from you. Thanks folks.